The Bug Bux Podcast!
What can the owner of a pest control company do to hold their marketing company accountable for producing higher quality leads? And then number two, what are some of the internal things that they can do different after a lead comes in to lead that to a sale?
From what I've seen in this industry, there's a big problem where there's no clear visibility between those two sides of the funnel with teams, right? So one of the best things that you can do is just start shining a light on where leads are slipping through the cracks as possible. Find some type of system that you can put in place that really gets granular about where you're missing out on opportunities and why you're missing out on them.
And it's so hard to get accurate data. There's this huge he said, she said situation with leads and digital marketing agencies. Talking about pricing, I didn't know that a lot of companies gave sales reps that much control over pricing. That's crazy to me.
I can guarantee you, because I see it with almost everyone that we work with at Plaibook, that your reps are anchoring their pricing too low. Most pest control companies will have a price range, like they'll offer an initial service that's this price, a recurring package that's, another price, and they have, this range of different prices that they can do for the initial and the recurring services. And all the time I see their reps just kind of like jump to the bottom line pricing right away. It's going to destroy your return on ads if you do that.
Let's talk a little bit about automation. Let's talk about systems. What are some things a lot of pest control owners might not know about? Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bug Bux Podcast. I'm your host, Allan Draper. Excited to be with you today. We have a really good one in store. Hey, I know a lot of people struggle with inside sales. We're always trying to get that process down a little better. We have people calling, interested in our services. And so today what we're going to be talking about is how to convert more of those leads and how to improve those internal systems that you've got. So make sure that you listen all the way to the end. You don't want to miss any of it. There's a lot going on at Bug Bux right now. Bug Bux Plus is it's on fire. Make sure you check it out. This group is especially for people that are having a hard time just taking the next step that they already know that they need to take. It's a lot about connection and being around peers and getting answers to questions and stuff like that. So I have been working for the last 6 months on a full-fledged course that yours truly has produced. And so that's going to be released in the next couple of months. So something to look forward there too. And then also Bug Bux Con 27 right around the corner, February 24th through the 26th. We're doing 2 full days, 2.5 days actually. We have a VIP night. Today, my guest is Tanner Crookston. Tanner started his experience in the pest control industry by knocking doors for the grit. In his first 2 summers, he sold just under $500,000 in revenue, which is crazy. From there, he pivoted into software sales, where he gained a great love for technology and its ability to solve issues. And after leaving his first job in software sales, he took a position as the head of inside sales at BRD Pest Solutions, which is popping off, growing like crazy, while also participating in a software startup incubator called Sandbox for his senior year of college. During the incubator, he built a software called Plaibook. You've probably heard of them. It's a tool used to solve all of the major headaches of launching and scaling an inside sales program and contact center. And we all know what that's like. So Tanner, with that, brother, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Allan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Dude, that's cool, man. Clearly experienced sales background. Before I hit the record button, you and I were kind of talking offline about some of the frustrations that you have and that you've seen that pest control companies have with narrowing down, tying up loose ends between a marketing company and an inside sales team. A lot of times, and I see this at Lizard, where we get the finger pointed at us, and sometimes it's deserved, and sometimes we need to make some tweaks. But tell me about kind of your viewpoint of that arrangement, that situation, and some of the things that you've learned in your various sales roles.
Yeah, so I feel like one of the first things that you learn when you get into the sales world is that you have your sales funnel, right? And when it comes to inside sales, top of funnel, that really comes from marketing. So pay-per-click sources, Google Ads, Meta, Facebook, whatnot. But then the bottom of the funnel is when it transitions out of the marketing half of the funnel into the sales half of the funnel. And so that's when a lead either gets to your inside sales agents, or if you have an AI agent that's kind of doing all of you, like you're answering your phones and stuff like that. That there's a transition process, right? And from what I've seen in this industry, there's a big problem where there's no clear visibility between those two sides of the funnel with teams, right? So like VPs of sales that we work with here at Plaibook, they'll point the finger at their marketing agencies and say, hey, like the leads that you're sending us suck, or you're not sending us enough leads. And marketing agencies, like you said, sometimes will push back and say, hey, like you just need to close the leads. And I think like this is a pretty pervasive problem in the industry as a whole. But I think at the same time, like I'm pretty passionate about the fact that like even if the leads that you're getting aren't super quality or you don't have enough of them, there's still a lot of different levers that you can pull on the sales side to just make sure that like at least the return on ad spend is one of my favorite metrics to measure, and it's really hard to measure in this industry because it's difficult to track a lead through the entire funnel. But even if like you only have control over the sales side, there's still a lot that you can do to control what your return on ad spend looks like, just based off of how you sell as well.
Yeah. So ROAS, we talk about that a lot at Lizard. We talk a lot about that at Proof. What are some of the things that you're seeing? What are some of the areas where pest control companies, that's who we're speaking to, right? Our listener is the owner of a pest control company. What can that individual do I'm going to ask two main questions. First is hold their marketing company accountable for producing higher quality leads and making sure their leads are higher quality. And then number two, what are some of the internal things that they can do different after a lead comes in to lead that to a sell, to end up with a sell?
Yeah, so I think probably the number one thing that they can do to coordinate with their marketing agency is just track the percent of leads that are qualified when they come in. And so like, let's say if you get 1,100 inbound leads every single month and only 600 of them are qualified, I think it's really, really good to track like the qualification rate, whether it's 80, 90, 60, 50%, right? And I think it's good to track what reasons they're disqualified as well, right? So like, are they outside of your service area? Like if like the more information that your marketing agency has on like why the leads that are coming in are disqualified, the easier you're going to make their job to fine tune your marketing campaigns and get the right people in the right areas that are looking for the right services to come to you. So I think that's the number one thing that you can do when coordinating with your marketing agency. But on your side as well, I can guarantee you, because I see it with almost everyone that we work with at Plaibook, that your reps are anchoring their pricing too low. Like most pest control companies will have a price range, like they'll offer an initial service that's this price, a recurring package that's another price, and they have this range of different prices that they can do for the initial and the recurring services. And all the time I see people that like their reps just kind of like jump to the bottom line pricing right away, right? And that's something that's like, it's going to destroy your return on ad spend if you do that. Like something that you can do to just double your like return on ad spend is just say, hey, instead of $49 a month, or not double your ad spend, but instead of saying, hey, it's $49 a month, say it's $69 a month, right? And if needs be, if they're a little bit hesitant, you can drop down the price, but you are going to be able to sell more people at a higher price point. And from there, your return on ad spend is going to be exponentially higher if you do that. Another good thing that I've seen too is like, you don't need to just sell one package. A lot of companies that we work with, what they'll do is they'll sell a general pest control subscription, but they'll also set a termite inspection because it's free on the phone, on the first phone call, right? And then an inspector can go to the home and then upsell a termite package, and then boom, there's two packages instead of one, right?
So a couple of thoughts. Number one, regarding the marketing agency, I think you hit the nail on the head, that communication. And I've seen this from the Lizard side. I didn't realize it when it was, me just, with my Proof hat on. But a lot of pest control company owners or their CMOs or whoever's in charge of their marketing it's one of those meetings, and I know we're busy pulled in a bunch of different directions. It's one of those meetings that gets canceled all the time. There have been situations at Lizard where we've gone 6 months without getting hold of somebody at a pest control company to talk about where they are with their marketing. So knocked it out of the park with that one. You got to have good communication. And as you said, the more specific you can get, the more granular you can get about a bunch of things, about the leads that are coming in, about your demographic, about what you're really trying to push, what your bread and butter is at the moment, the better they can set up those campaigns to produce higher quality leads. And to be honest with you, what AI is doing with LLMs, with language learning models and searches that are being performed through AI now, is the more specific, the better. It's kind of been on this trajectory for a couple of decades, but now it's like, hey, we got to be really precise. We want to make sure that more now than ever, the search results are solving a problem for the individual that's performing the search. Talking about pricing. Okay, so I didn't know that a lot of companies gave sales reps that much control over pricing. That's crazy to me. I think they need some leeway, but the leeway that we allow at Proof is usually on the initial.
Yeah.
We don't allow a ton of leeway on the recurring price because that's like the base of what we're building our company off of. But then you mentioned, hey, there's other packages, right? And I think there's ways to do discounts and incentives and things like that through other packages, which is really smart. One thing, so I was just the other day, I was with my son and I was looking for a new putter. Trying to get better at golf. I'm not good, but I try. And I have a blade putter, which a blade putter is one of the hardest putters to hit. And I'm looking for a mallet putter. It's kind of it's a wider type putter. And I'm looking for a very specific one. It's a TaylorMade Tour X, Spider Tour X. And we went to the shop and I didn't buy it there. I'm like, no, I'm going to go somewhere else and buy it because I get these quality customer points or whatever if I buy it at this other place. And my son's like, hey, what if it is more there? And I'm like, it's not going to be more there because they control the price. It's $350, so it's not a cheap putter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where you get it. So people can't go to Costco, get the Tour X and get a discount on it. And so one of the things that worries me about pricing when it comes to customer interaction is, and we've seen this on the doors too, and oh man, you want to make a door-to-door team mad? Have the people inside sales selling it for less than they're selling it for on the doors. Want to run a smarter, more efficient pest control business? PestPack is the industry-leading software designed to help you simplify operations, boost productivity, and grow revenue all in one platform. With features like automated scheduling, mobile tools for your techs, and powerful AI analytics, you'll spend less time managing and more time scaling. Check it out today at pestpack.com/bugbucks and see how PestPack can grow your business up to 55% faster.
Yeah, I think too that opens up another can of worms too, because usually door-to-door commissions are so much higher than like what you would pay like an inside sales rep commission,
Yep.
right? And there's reasons for that, and like I don't know, I don't really want to like get in too far into that can of worms, but I think overall, like the point that you make is really true, and I think sometimes too, like there's convenience as well. Like if someone's calling in and it's really urgent and they need someone to come out, like that is a situation where it's like, hey, you can like if it needs to be a same day visit or a next day visit, like you can anchor the initial a little bit higher so that they can get a priority slot right on the first one. And like I even do that with my groceries. Like there's a chain here. I live in Utah. There's a chain here called Harmon's, and it's really kind of an upscale, like everyone knows that the prices at Harmon's are just more expensive than anywhere else in the state. It also happens to be right across the street from where I live, right? And so it's like I can either drive 2 minutes down the road and get Harmon's, or I can drive another 15 minutes farther to the next grocery store. I'm obviously gonna go to Harmon's just for the convenience of it as well, right? So I mean, there's tons that goes there's tons of different like factors that go into like, you know, what makes a successful inside sales program and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing that I've seen is like don't let your reps, like even if you only give them control on the initial service, don't let them give the lowest initial service price like immediately, right? Like even if it's just an extra $100 on a $600 contract, like that's more than 20% of the contract, right?
It's such a good point, and it's something pest control companies struggle with. Pricing is always an issue. When should I raise my prices? What type of discount? And there's this like lingering thought, I've already paid for this lead and I have their address and they're right next door to another customer that we're going out to. And it's like, just think of the putter. Okay. Think of the putter. Like, don't go to all depths to get that customer signed up. I think there's a lot of value in a premium priced service. So let's talk a little bit about automation. Let's talk about systems.
Yeah.
What are some things within the within a sales program that you've seen perform really well or help sales teams or motivate them? Or what are some of the things that you've implemented in the past that a lot of pest control owners might not know about?
Yeah, I think sometimes like ignorance is bliss. Where we've worked with a lot of people that just didn't realize how like bad their team was performing until they implemented Plaibook, right? And a couple of weeks ago, we onboarded a client where he swore to me during the discovery process that he had a 70% close rate, right? And then we get in, we integrate into his phone system, we start analyzing his phone calls with AI and everything like that, and we calculate a 32% close rate. So like less than half of like what he expected to have, right? And part of that is because their reps were the ones that were just kind of self-reporting these numbers. They weren't really reporting every single opportunity that they have, right? And so when it comes to systems and automation and everything, I think like lots of people view technology as kind of a nuisance because there is kind of this like initial price that you have to pay to get your technology set up, right? But I think where a lot of people kind of miss the mark or what they forget sometimes is that like the purpose of technology is to reduce the amount of friction, not to increase it, right? And so like when I was running the inside sales program, and I actually I don't know if you know Tyler Garver or not, but he was one of the top guys at Aptiv. I've had the chance to work with him on a couple of different projects and everything. And we sat down one time and we both just kind of agreed that like the job of an inside sales manager or the VP of sales is to reduce the amount of friction for their reps so that they can stay on the phones, so that they can just be closing, right? And I think that's kind of what technology is built for. That's what Plaibook is definitely built for. And I guess I'll give us this little plug. Like, you don't even need to use Plaibook if you listen to this, but I would say even if you don't use Plaibook, one of the best things that you can do is just start shining a light on where leads are slipping through the cracks as possible. Find some type of system that you can put in place that really, really gets granular about like where leads are, where you're missing out on opportunities and why you're missing out on them as well. And I can give an example of that as well. Like the 32% close rate is fine, but one of the metrics that we measure as well is every single objection that comes up on an inside sales phone call. Is your rep overcoming that objection? Are they attempting to overcoming that objection? Or are they just laying down flat and surrendering and not even trying to overcome the objection? And what's really, really cool is part of our system, it will calculate, like it will extract from the transcript the price that was pitched. So if you do a $69 initial and $69 a month, it will take the initial and it will take the monthly price times 11, add it up for the contract value. And then if they give an objection and then they don't even try to overcome it, that's, a $700 contract that you just lost because your rep didn't even try to overcome the objection. On top of that, you may have spent anywhere from $100 to $150 for that lead as well. So not only are you missing out on like a $700 contract, but when a rep doesn't try to overcome that objection, they just flushed that $125 down the toilet, right? So there's two costs that go into that. And I think a lot of people don't realize that too until they start really seeing these numbers and these metrics on paper and realizing, yes, it is bad that like we're missing out on all these opportunities and that this ad spend isn't going and isn't achieving the purpose that it was spent for. But now that we're really, really clear on where we're missing out, we have the knowledge to fix it, like, because we know where it's actually slipping through the cracks.
Hey, if you're a pest control owner and you're serious about growing your business this year, listen up. Bug Bux Plus has just gone through a major revamp. We stepped back and refocused everything around what actually moves the needle: connection, accountability, and real execution inside your business. This isn't just a course anymore. It's a real community of operators who are building together. Inside Bug Bux Plus, you get a private community of pest control owners, live calls and monthly accountability check-ins, webinars focused on real growth strategies, Bug Bux Plus courses, templates, calculators, and tools you can actually use in your business, direct access to me, including DMs and one-on-one calls, plus exclusive networking, meetups, and events with other owners. On top of all that, you get perks like $100 off Bug Bux Con, early VIP access, and members-only experiences at the event. At the end of the day, this is for owners who are tired of trying to figure it all out alone. If you're ready to plug into a community that actually helps you grow, join Bug Bux Plus. We'll see you inside. You know what's interesting is the more time I spend operating businesses, the longer I've been an entrepreneur, the more important I realize data is. And it's so hard to get accurate data. And there's this huge he said, she said situation with leads and digital marketing agencies. We've kind of touched on that a little bit. I have possibly the worst case scenario with mismanagement of data in a sales organization. Maybe there's something that worse could have happened, but I had an individual on a sales team. I'm trying not to provide too much information here. This individual was paid and bonused off of close rate, commissions, right, on top of his salary. And about a year or year and a half in, we realized that the numbers were way off.
Yeah.
And I think it was because somebody was, they were looking for something else. Long story short, we had a manager that was lying about the close rate, was receiving bonuses based off of like 20% higher than it actually was. And we had all these internal issues because we didn't have the data. So with Plaibook, what you're saying is there's this third, quote unquote, third party that is going to, it's not just going to give you better data than what you've got right now. It's going to give you like unfiltered, untampered with data. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, one of our biggest goals was from the beginning, and I think like you've kind of like exposed in that comment like one part of the equation where it's like sometimes people will just lie, like they'll report false data, but then I think there's another half of that equation where it's like in a pest control, especially during the summertime, inbound volume is so high, like your reps just don't have enough time to just key in. They just don't have enough time to like key in and punch in all of this data, right? And so like what we do is like we integrate into your phone system, whether it's dial pad, voice for pest is a huge one. We have a voice for pest integration, and we ingest all your phone calls with AI, and even it like we like and even if it's like if it's a sales opportunity and they call in, they don't convert on the first phone call, and then there's an outbound phone call afterwards, we string all of that together into one opportunity, so that way there's no need for any manual data entry at all. And we even go even farther up, and we also integrate into Google Ads and Meta and all these different lead sources if you're working with eLocal or PestNet or something like that, and we get the information there, and so like we can tell you where the leads are coming from, how much you're spending on them, and then what your conversion rate is as well. And so that way it's like, and we shine a light on the marketing half of the funnel. Okay, if it's unqualified, why is it unqualified? And then we also shine a light on the sales half of the funnel. Okay, if it's qualified and it didn't close, why didn't it close, right? And that way you have full transparency and it's untampered with, like you said, which is super valuable.
So what are some of the improvements? Do you have any data for some of the improvements that you've seen in particular organizations just by the use of Plaibook?
Yeah, and there's a lot of factors that go into that. Like the best increase in close rate was when they started using Plaibook, they were at 39%, and it's been about 8 months since they've been on it, and right now like close rates ebb and flow, right? And so
course.
like we usually take a 30-day average. Over the last 30 days, they've been closing at a 68% close rate. So
That's
like,
awesome.
going from 30 to, and there's a lot of factors that go into that. Like you can use our data to coach, but also because we use AI to like analyze these phone calls, we can also tell, hey, this is a lead. It did not close because they wanted to talk to their husband, which is completely understandable. And that also happens to be the objection where like the least amount of people try to overcome it. That's usually tends to be an objection that people just kind of surrender on across every organization, across our entire customer base. Okay, well, we can surface that data that they wanted to go talk to their husband, and we can create a task for your rep to go and follow up with that lead, right? And so they can click a button, it takes them to the phone system and automatically dials it, or they can click a button and it automatically queues up a text message that's personalized and says, hey, how'd that conversation with your husband go, basically. And so
it's so nice to have the automations in place. One of the biggest expenses for a pest control company is personnel. And if you're talking about technicians, that should be, in terms of your COGS, that's your number one expense. And it's one of those expenses that you don't want it to go down because you want high quality people. You don't want it to go down over time. You want it to go down as a percentage of top line revenue. And what does that mean? It means you're still paying people the same, or you're maybe even paying them more over time. That's the idea. So people make more money. You want to retain those top level people, but you're making more money and they're becoming more efficient because of it. And another thing that's really cool, you mentioned that close rate going from 32 or whatever to 68%. If you ask Alex Hermosi, he's going to tell you, hey, that close rate's too high.
You should increase your prices.
You need to increase your prices. And what did we just do? We just increased top line revenue without changing anything below. And then you can give people bonuses. You can make compensation and commission structure more favorable. You can decrease other types of problems, and you're still going to get passed through to the bottom line. Yeah. So I think a lot of times people, and I totally get this, they're pest control company. They're nervous about something new. They're nervous about yet another system. They're worried about implementation. And the thing is, it's like building a house, or I should say renovating a house. Stuff's going to get a little ugly before it gets better, but you have to have faith in it, which for the pest control owner, that's what they built their company on. It's like, hey, I'm going to quit my job and start a pest control company, and I have faith in myself. And so what are some tips as we're wrapping up here, Tanner? What are some tips that you can give to people as they're making systemic changes, whether it's through Plaibook or some other system? What are some things that you can kind of just lead them along with, kind of give them some hopes, help them see that light at the end of the tunnel?
A couple come to mind. The first one that really presses on me is something that I see far too often is that pest control owners will over-index on tools, which is fair. And so like I think sometimes when I talk to a PCO and they say they don't really feel like adding another piece of technology to their tech stack, but then they're using like both CallRail and call tracking metrics to like track leads from different lead sources, you know what I'm saying? And Pest AI and like all these different tools that have the same functionality, but maybe like one is a little bit better in this area. In my opinion, it really is better to just simplify and just like understand that, hey, maybe like if you use call tracking metrics and CallRail, both, because like one does this a little bit better than the other and one does this a little bit better than the other, I would just honestly like eat the cost of like not having the better functionality of one and just simplify. I have seen a lot of companies, and maybe he'll give me a little bit of crap for giving him a shout on this podcast, but Ryan Marshall from Vinx, I don't know if you know him or not. He's a great guy. Their numbers have gone up a lot this summer, and it's actually been from removing things than adding them. And so I think a big piece of advice that I would have for a lot of pest control owners out there is to simplify and subtract instead of add new things that can get more complicated. I think that's one of them. And I think the other one too is just like I said earlier, like don't remain ignorant. Like if your inside sales program, or like your retention team, when they're like the people that are supposed to be saving your customers when they call in to cancel, is not performing the way that you want it to perform. I see too many people that just kind of decide to not really investigate like the root cause for all of that. And that's really sad, because like I understand it's a hard truth, but like once you're faced with the truth of like how your team is performing, it is infinitely easier to improve. It's hard to improve what you can't measure, and so you should start by measuring first.
Love it. That's awesome, man. I don't know if word has gotten out too much, but Plaibook has recently become a partner of Bug Bux. So we're so excited to be able to work with you guys, especially just improving people's systems. So if the listener has a question, they want to hear more about Plaibook, maybe they want to see a demo, because man, they spend a lot of time collecting data, and you're going to be able to streamline that for them and improve their systems, especially when it comes to inside sales. What's the best way for them to contact somebody at Plaibook?
Yeah, you can just visit our website. It's plaibook.tech, TECH, and there's a big button right there when you log on that says book a demo, and that'll just go directly to my calendar as well. We're a pretty small, pretty lean team, and I'm still the one that's taking all the meetings with all the people that want to do business with us. So yeah, if you want to learn more, just go to our website and book a demo there.
Cool. So check that out. We'll put it in the show notes. So Play is spelled PLAI, book, BOOK, .tech. TECH. Is that right? Did I get that right, Tanner?
Yep, that's right.
All right. Love it, man. Hey, thanks for joining us, dropping that wisdom on us regarding inside sales, man, and how do we do better? Marketing's such a big percent. A lot of times it's a 30% plus percentage of gross revenue line item on our P&L. Man, let's convert more of that. And let's get to the point where we're converting so many of them that we're increasing our prices. So thanks so much for joining me, Tanner. Stoked to see what Plaibook has in the future, brother.
Appreciate you, Allan. Take care.
Thank you so much for listening to the Bug Bux Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please show your support by subscribing and leaving us an honest 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you, and we'll catch you on the next episode.